What's going on YouTube? Got another knife review for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Les George Talos. This is another Midtech from Les. Obviously, here's the VCP, the first, I don't think it's the first Midtech that's ever been made, but this is in my recollection, it's the one that really started the craze of Midtechs. I think when the VCP came out, it was all the craze, and it was hyped up, and rightfully so. It was a great knife, the idea of a custom maker, handling the knives and putting all the knives together, despite the fact that materials and whatnot were produced from another shop, was a pretty popular thing. And so obviously then a bunch of other custom makers, and it's really great that they did, started to get on this whole Midtech thing and allow for the average, I would say average knife collector to maybe a little bit higher end knife collector, to get into some of the knives. Obviously when you start in knife collecting, more often than not, you start with a lot of production companies like Spyderco's and Kershaw's and Benchmade and whatnot, and then you kind of your taste starts to get a little bit higher. So when you start hearing about custom makers, or actually not even then, you start getting to Striders and Sebenzas and Hinders, and then you get into the custom flavor, and when you start realizing, one, how near impossible it is to get onto custom books, custom makers books right now, especially now, since knife collecting and the media, social media and all that stuff has been crazy. It's darn near impossible to get some of these custom knives without paying secondary prices. So that's just a long-winded way of just saying that Midtechs are a great way of getting into custom knives, and they do a really great job for the most part, to give us as much of a impression of what real custom knives would be like. So anyway, here's a really quick size comparison with some other Midtechs as well as production knife in the Sebenza. Here you got the Burning Horizon from Mosier and Kendrick, and then the the Michael Birch V2 Midtech. There's the Talos right there, and then the Les George VCP, and then the Sebenza from Chris Reeve 21 large. The Talos, you can see there's a lot of similarity in all these knives. They're all ranging between 3.5 inches to about 3 7/8 inches. It's documented that this knife is 3 7/8 inch, but after measuring it, it came out, for me at least, it came out to be 3 3/4. So, an eighth of an inch difference right there. So not a huge deal. Overall length, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think 8.5 inches about. And then inside it's got just phosphor bronze washers, and 2 titanium slabs, for the handles. Nice little spring clip Emerson kind of 3-screw construction for the pocket clip, so it can accommodate Emerson clips or Benchmade clips or steel flame. I think more importantly steel flame clips for this knife. So and a basic stone wash on the blade and on the scales for the titanium. So nothing that special, but it's basically your I say everyday run-of-the-mill Midtech now, because everyone and their mom is making Midtechs these days. Jimping, like most Les Georges I've handled, is pretty much useless. It's all ornamental, smooth. Again, for the average suburbanite that carries knives, that's totally fine. You're not going to be stabbing into anything. Cutting task, it's got this nice little thumb depression from the jimping right here for your thumb to rest in, so that's fine and all. I think the one thing for me that stood out about the Talos that I haven't experienced in other knives really is the round the roundedness of the handle. And you know, most knives, they have chamfering, you know, around here, and it's, you know, it's comfortable, and the angles sit well in the hand. Feels like it gives a good grip, no real hot spots or anything like that. And you can bear down on these knives and it's totally fine. You know, thin on the Sebenza, no hot spots. VCP, same way, all chamfered. This one, it's all, I don't know if he does chamfering and then rounds it, but this is like one of the most comfortable knives that I've handled. Obviously no hot spots in here, but the way that the rounded handle kind of just molds into your hand, I don't know what it is about it, but it feels great. So that is the one thing that sticks out the most to me for this knife. Other than that, it's nothing to write home about. I believe the asking price is $425 to $450 for this knife, and you know, typically I don't think it's going much higher on the secondary market, and you can kind of get a gauge of, you know, knives that are hyped up and whatnot. You know, when their secondary prices go nuts, you know, then sometimes it's the name, oftentimes it's a name, and sometimes it's just, you know, the hype about the knife. And so again, this knife, it's incredibly smooth, easy to flick out. I really like the thumb studs. These are the version 2 VCP thumb studs. You know, I like it better, for me, I like it better than the larger thumb studs that are on the version 1 VCP, like this. So you can see them there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of construction, everything, you know, fit and finish is fine. It's not perfectly centered on this one, as you can see right there, but it's not that bad. Not, you know, it's not rubbing against a liner. Flicks out incredibly fast. Got titanium standoffs, you know, on here, but you know, inside on the handle, it's got the engraving, George engraving. So he got rid of the Les George sign that he does on his other Midtech on the VCP right there. So outside of that, I mean, Talos is a great knife. Looks wise, I'm not all that fond of the rounded bottom here. I would have preferred a different kind of design. That's just my opinion. I mean, Les is a great designer, great knife maker, obviously. So that's one knock in my opinion. But the roundedness of the actual handle all the way around, everywhere, it's completely rounded on the bottom, around the back, around the front, just makes for an incredibly nice feeling knife. So as an EDC, it's, you know, very thin as well. Here it is compared to the VCP, so it's comparable. You know, both are, I think, about the same width compared to the Sebenza as well. So blade stock is at I don't know, I think it's 160 thou or so. So, you know, thicker than a Sebenza at 125 thou for sure. So as an everyday EDC, you know, Midtech, what you would expect, you know, the very, you know, blank canvas type of knife. You know, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this knife. You could do a lot of anodization, do like a steel flame clip and whatnot. You could do an acid stonewash to the blade if you wanted to, and I think it would look great. You know, so as it is, I haven't seen any pimped out Taloses other than ones that Les has, you know, done special milling, CNCing on. You know, those are kind of cool. So I've seen a couple of those pop up, but yeah, everyday run-of-the-mill Midtechs, which means that they're good. You know, all the Midtechs for the most part that I've handled, you know, from the Graham to the Hoback, they're all good. I really like them, and at their asking price from the actual maker, I think they're all worth it. So you get a good feel for the custom maker. without the custom prices or the custom secondary prices. So anyway, that's my brief take on the Les George Talos. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, appreciate you guys watching my videos and your comments and everything. Yeah, so thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Take care. Bye.